Okay, so I would like to accept the dedication of 9,914 square feet located in, what phase, I guess, just so I can put it somewhere, what phase is this? This side.
Well, I think I'd make a reference of in proximity to the Indian Hills 8th edition Parkland dedication, or something that refers, if you're looking at getting it proximal to the existing parkland, then I think I'd make that reference, as we don't know what phase that'll be depending upon the sequence
Okay,
of
8th
building.
edition then?
The Indian Hills 8th edition was the origin of that Parkland dedication.
Okay, okay. I'd like to make a motion that we accept dedication of 9,914 square feet of property to be located adjacent to the Indian Hills Trading Company Park, for lack of a better place to put it right now.
Second. We have a motion. We have Dan's motion, and we have Walter's second. Any other discussion? Tom?
My concern with that is, well, there are a couple concerns that I have. One is I feel like we're kicking it down the road, not putting the parkland in the neighborhood that's being developed. It seems like all across this whole hill, as we've been developing neighborhoods, we keep pushing parkland further and further and further away from where people are living. And I think it's obvious to those of us on this bench that it's really frustrating to the people in that neighborhood what's been happening to parkland throughout the phases. So I feel like it's one more pushing it down to just complete it. I'd rather at least get 75% of the way by getting some of this done now. My preference would be to go for the purchasing both lots, but I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around that price tag. My other concern is we don't know what the topography, we don't have a topo map, and it always drives me crazy to try to figure out parkland dedication without some kind of a topo map. So that would be my preference, is if we could see what this looks like, because the grading of an acre to try to make it useful as a park could be pretty expensive. So my preference would be to try to make something work here now in this space.
Okay, Walter?
Tom, we have a park in the neighborhood. It was dedicated 3 or 4 years ago.
We do.
It was reaffirmed a few meetings ago by 100 signatures on petitions from neighbors that said, we want this park where it is.
Exactly.
The petition said nothing about making it bigger. The developer offered 130% land at another location nearby. They said, we do not want that. We want what we've already got. And with this motion that I've seconded tonight leaves them exactly what they got in the first place and what they wanted in the second place. And I don't think it's a perfect solution, but it's a solution I'll vote for.
The other question, so I have another question.
Sure, go ahead.
And the question, well, I'll wait till Bill's done. Bill, do you know what the square footage was of the land that we vacated a meeting or two ago around that corner?
I'd have to look it up, or maybe Stephanie could pull it out of the minutes. I was not present at that meeting.
Well, it's something. And we don't do vacations conditionally. It's not like a trade. It can never be a trade. Vacations can't be traded. But I don't feel like we've done I feel like we've done everything we possibly can do as a city council to make it really easy and expeditious for this development to happen. And I really don't think we're asking for too much to say to try to get the 9914 done now. I mean, there's a development that's going to come in and bring money to make this stuff happen. Or at least part of it is being developed soon. I feel like, to ask for the 9914 to be expressed on the ground as at the time of the development is not an unreasonable request. To kick it down a year from now or 2 years or 10 or 5, I don't know. We don't know how long it's going to take for the rest of the thing to be developed. It just feels not fair to the people that are being served by this. And it's not just the park of this particular development. I mean, this is finally the park that the people that were in Indian Hills 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, I'm not sure what number it is, haven't gotten. And part of that's because we've accepted cash in lieu of, which is a crazy idea, given the price that we've been, using as an exchange. I just don't think it's an unreasonable thing to say, it's time to come clean on this. I mean, I think it's finally time to just say, it's time to exchange the land.
I saw Gary's hand, then Bill's.
Actually, I have no legal opinion to add to this, just some management discussion.
Okay, Bill?
Just in answer to Tom's question, it was 2,389 square feet in the right-of-way vacation.
Okay, interesting.
Mayor?
I saw Sue's hand next.
I didn't have a problem with the size of this park to start with. The concern was safety. And it seems to me that given that those lots are so expensive, that I would rather take the 9,000 square feet and add it on to another park and have a larger park. But I would feel a lot better about this one if Thompsons were willing to put in their CC&Rs that it's okay for people to have cyclone fences or something to increase the visibility of that park, and then you don't need to be seeing in through all sides. And actually, is in the pedestrian pathway, as people cruise through on their bicycles and whatever, they're seeing what's going on there, and I would feel better about that. And there are some other ways to make the park more safe, but the actual size of it. Given the pricing, and I understand when we ask developers to put in streets, sewers, sidewalks, all those, that gets added to the price. It's not the same as a piece of farm ground, so I could go along with the motion. I really would recommend, though, that Thompsons allow some sort of way to increase visibility in that park.
Wayne?
And something that's been bothering me about this, and I finally think I figured out what it is. We're asking Thompson's to basically change the plat of something that was finalized years ago. It's because of Phase 2 that this 9,900 square feet has come up, which is not necessarily related to Phase 1. Therefore, that 9,900 square feet should be dedicated and platted within Phase 2. We really don't want it there. That's why we're talking about banking it, so we can make a future park bigger. I really don't think it's fair that we sit here and we ask him to go back into Phase 1 this is part of Phase 1, is it not, or is it Phase 2? Am I off base here, Bill? It is 2. Okay, I take it back, I'm off base.
You're just one phase off.
Your
I'm off
argument's
one phase.
sound,
That's two.
just you're off a phase.
What we
Phasers
rezoned
off.
is Phase 3. So it's Phase 3 that's created the 9,900 square feet. Okay, then it should be in Phase 3.
You're just out of phase.
Yeah, we're out of phase here. Okay.
Okay. Other discussion? Tim, did you have your hand up?
Phasers on stun.
Okay. So, Dan, I understood you to say your motion was to accept the dedication of the 9,914 square feet of property located adjacent to Indian Hills Trading Company, correct?
Yes.
And
Was it adjacent to or in
Yeah, I
proximity
mean,
use the
of?
phrase
In
adjacent
the general
to.
area, adjacent.
As
Adjacent to is.
As
what it's-
Randy defined it for us, adjacent didn't necessarily mean smack up next to, is how, is
In the proximity.
is that as Bill understands it, and our city attorney as well? Gary,
See a lot of
Excuse me, I'm sorry?
The terminology adjacent to doesn't necessarily mean abutting, is that correct? As Randy defined it to us once, we had a similar discussion.
Yes.
And he said in the general, near proximity. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. I might make a recommendation that if you want to tie it closer to that particular parkland, that you state that it will generally be adjacent to the property, find a location to be negotiated between the city and the developer.
Yeah, I'm fine with that in that language, the final location.
Okay, and the seconder, that's okay with the seconder?
I'm fine as
Okay.
well.
All right, anybody need clarification before voting on that? Okay, hearing none, we'll start the roll call vote with Tim.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
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 Okay, the motion carries. Congratulations. The next item tonight, do you need any other direction, Bill?
Thank you,
Anything
Bill.
there? Okay. The,
If we're not doing this, obviously, I'm not bringing up the money. I'm really disappointed because
Sure you are.
no matter which way.
Bill, could I get you to come to the podium? I'm sorry, it is being recorded.
Well, I'm really disappointed because no matter which way, and I liked Walter's thing, we were down to the point where if they dedicated one lot, then we at 62.5, then we were at the other at 62.5, and they were at the point of offering 70. So for $7,500, we have taken away the opportunity to make it a safer, better park. I think that was a really big mistake, and I've just saved $30,000 or $35,000, and thank you very much, but I'm really disappointed in this. It was a hard decision for me to make, to come up to try to get this thing to work, and I'm sorry.
Bill, I think I can speak for my colleagues here at the dais and the city staff as well, saying how much we appreciate such a generous offer as that one you made, and your commitment to our community and the well-being of not just youth, but members of the community of all ages and abilities. So thank you. That was huge. I share your disappointment.